What's up all you gamers? If you want to see what I think is very possibly the best build at the moment on the Division 2, then stay tuned. That's coming up next.
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Whee.
Welcome back all you guys and girls. So this is actually a build that I've been working on for about a week now actually. Basically I've already brought a video out on it, and it was the build that I was aiming for, and I made a complete boo-boo. Like I said, this is my return to the Division after a year, and I pretty much told you to make sure you were getting the Vile Mask. And I forgot to say that the backpack that I was wearing at the time, the go bag, was pretty much as a gearing up thing. So here is the definitive guide on what I think is what you should be aiming for. So if you have a little look here, without any shenanigans, let me just put it on something more difficult actually, without any shenanigans, without mucking around, without throwing grenades, anything such as that, let's see what it does. So literally one sticky bomb, detonate, so it's doing 300,000 plus 69. That's not too bad at all. And how about if we're putting in some target practice shooting as well? 388 plus 69. And my gear's not perfect. Not perfect at all. It's good, but it's not perfect yet. So that's roughly, how much is that? It's over 450,000 there. So I reckon a perfect build of this would be doing 500,000 a tick. And it goes on for some time. So let's have a look over here, shall we? So if we put it onto, we'll put it to invulnerable. So here we go. So like I said, just like normal shooting, that is a lot of damage over a long time. And it's still going. So if you want everything in the room to disappear, that's how to do it. So without further ado, the build I've got on, so I'm pretty much using the tech build just so you get the added 10%, and I feel like it's definitely worth going with tech for this. Obviously if you wanted to go fire starter you probably could, but I feel like tech's definitely the way to go. The gun I'm running, which is different I think to pretty much every other person I've seen, is this one right here. Headshots grant 50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. The whole build is about status. Why not have a gun that does the same thing? Now over here is the thing that I was aiming for more than anything. It took me ages. Well, actually, no, it didn't take me ages. It took me about 2.5 days of solid grinding. Could have got it sooner, but things always tend to come up, shall we say. But yeah, if you have a little look there, it's got quite nice rolls on it. I had to re-roll this one. So it's got status effects, hazard protection, and skill haste. Obviously, the skill haste is the one that I've slotted myself, but the status effect is what you're after. Now, if you have a little look, status effects also apply a debuff over time damage for 10 seconds, and that's 50% of your concussion grenade. So that was the extra tick that you saw when it was going through. I'll show you at the end as well. And then what I've put on is the chest piece, because the chest piece is kind of like you have to have this chest piece. It increases indirect transmission range from 15 meters to 20 meters and refreshes 50% to 75% of the damage. That's definitely got to be in this build. The main thing you want is the area effect, because it's all well and good killing one ad, but if it's not going to spread it to every other ad, there's no real point having this build. So holster, same again. Knees, same again. And I like having this backpack as well. Indirect transmission. Oh, what else? I'm looking at the wrong one. System symptom aggravator, amplifies all damage and deals status effect targets 15%. So basically it gives you an extra 15% on top. You can get 25%, I believe, on top of your tech, but I find this one tends to work the best in conjunction with it all. Obviously, if you know different, chuck it in the comments. It's always time to change builds and stuff. It's always good to know different ones. And over here, I've got the Golan gear. I forgot what it was called. The Golan gear set. And that's pretty much because it gives you the 10% status effect straight off the bat for having one piece. And then I've got status effects damage on it. And a bit of skill damage just from what you're using. Now that is a really, really solid build. And as you saw, it does the numbers. So obviously with that, that's really high roll. That's not bad. That one you can get a little bit more on, as can you with this one. I would have preferred to have the, rather than the skill haste, I would actually prefer to have the damage on that myself. So I may have to muck around with that one. And with that, status effects 9.4. So it's not bad. It's not bad, but you can get a little bit better. So I reckon you'll be able to hit about 500,000 a tick, like with the other one from the Vile Mask. And that is enough damage to pretty much take out everything in the game, except for, I'd imagine, the heroic named. You probably wouldn't be able to take the heroic name down. But this build is all about ad clearing and clearing content really, really fast. So, like I said, if you have a little look over here, you're just going to be doing your normal job of shooting, hit things in the head when you can, and if you can, launch this straight afterwards, and you'll get the extra damage. So obviously that's it without any extra damage. And if you have a little look over there, and still going. So what you can do as well, what I tend to find are the best skills is definitely this one right here. Have a little muck around, see what you prefer. With my one, what I've tended to put on it is... I've actually got the wrong one on at the moment. Right, I actually put on the radius. The way I see it, you just want as much area effect as possible. You've already got the damage. It's the area effect that you want. So if I chuck on that, let's see if it makes any difference. So now we've got pretty much 10% extra blast radius. And that's what I find works best, actually. Obviously, if you'd like to put an extra bit of damage on your sticky bomb or something like that, go for it. Find whatever works well for you. I find the best two to have is sticky bomb. And if you have a little look there, the shield. The shield works really, really well because you can kind of clear pretty much all content with this build. I actually didn't cover that in my last one because I'd never really put the shield into any of my thing. I was too used to the cover effects as such. But you can kind of get the shots off a lot better with your sticky bomb and survive a lot better because you've got that shield up the whole time. And as you can see there, even when you've got nothing on your build that's got added armor or added shield regen or anything such as that, because of your tech, you've got 4.7 million health. That's going to take a beating. Even in legendary, well, possibly not legendary actually, even in heroic, you'll be alright for a little while taking some shots on that. But obviously you're not going to want to tank a boss for too long without anything on your armor sets, but it will keep you alive through most of the content, and it helps you feel a little less squishy. If you didn't want that and you really enjoy being a bit more offensive, what you could chuck on, Seeker Mine. Seeker Mine would do really well because you'll get double tick on that. So you get bleed and you get the tick from the mask. So I think you'll get roughly about 60,000 damage. Now let's try it. I think it's about 60,000 damage plus the mask. So probably about 120 in total, give or take, maybe a little bit more. Let's have a little look. So, say we got a shot on his head. So it looks like it's a bit higher than I thought, actually. That is actually better numbers than I thought. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty solid. So without the shot, it's about 60 plus the mask. Not bad. Not bad at all. So it's over 150 with the headshot, and a little bit lower, say like 120 or maybe 130,000 per tick without it. Right, so that's a good one to have in your build. Another one you could use, which is really, really good for this build. Obviously, I've said about the shield because of its utility. The drone. The drone mops up the kills that you haven't got, and it kind of it grabs a bit of the aggro for you, so you can find yourself doing a lot more with this build, getting the shots on the sticky that you actually want to get rather than missing it, getting into better positions, not getting shot at constantly. I love the drone. The drone was my go-to. The shield and the drone are probably my two favourite. Obviously, what you can do is have the hive. The hive is amazing, absolutely amazing. But I find a lot of times you don't actually need it as such. Just because as long as you've hit your shot, it doesn't really matter. If you are struggling to hit your shots, go for this. Go for the shock trap. I would always say make sure you stick with this one here. The sticky is a guaranteed. It's too good. It's really too good. You could use the airburst. I'm trying to think what it's called now. Seeker Mine. You could use the airburst Seeker Mine. On Xbox, I struggle. I struggle to make it hit. It bounces back. It comes back to me. They move 1 foot out of the way. I don't rate it. The damage is top notch. I don't hit it every time by a long shot. So I tend to stay clear of that. But like I said, with this one, say for example you're struggling to hit the headshot before you're doing your sticky, or you're just struggling in general to hit your sticky, the radius you get from this, that's massive. Look at that. So now, what you tend to do, go like that. Bang. Look how good that is. So what's that there as well? Oh yeah, tick damage from the mask. Really, really, really good. I'd say if you're not using the shield or the drone and you wanted one where you're not really going to get caught out and you want to survive everything, chuck this on the field. Bang. As soon as it hits them, get the effect. Bang. And if you're lucky, it'll come back over. Come on, don't be mean. There we go. I have not seen a build this AoE focused in the Division since I started playing. So it's still going. I've been talking for a minute. It's still going. That is ridiculous. I don't even want to know the damage on that, but everything in the room's dead. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck on some gameplay for you, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'm not actually sure if I've mentioned what it is. Yeah, so basically it's the Eclipse Protocol set, and if I was you, chuck on pretty much exactly what I've got here. The reason I've got this on, you can put whatever exotic you want on. It doesn't matter. The exotic is just your own preference. I use that because I put the shield on a lot. When I put the shield on, if they're running towards me, I want to be able to mow them down fast. And Lady Death does that. It's got a lot of crit chance on it, whereas I've got none on my build. So it helps me out immensely against some of the tougher enemies or the people running at me. I probably should have mentioned there's a good fair few you can put in the first shot in the first slot, and that is, let me just find it for you. The mechanical animal is a really good one if you want to boost all your offense and your tech, because it would grant you overcharge when you get a kill. And the other one would be the harmony, if I can find it just here, because it gives you 40% extra weapon damage and tech when you start shooting them, and use your tech powers to hit them as well. So say for example you've got a turret, or you've got your drone on, or anything that's going to do a bit of damage aiming at people, harmony is really good in that slot as well. Right, so I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time. I'm going to be bringing a lot of Division content out, hints, tips, guides, and some really good builds, hopefully. Always up for some comments, so if you think I've missed a trick, or you've got a better one, or something else that I should be running, chuck it in the comments. I'll have a little look into it. But if you'd like to join the Sofa Squad, and any of this stuff interests you, then hit that subscribe, hit that bell icon, and I'll be covering the Division 2 and all of the latest and greatest on Xbox. But for now, I'll leave you with some gameplay footage. Take care and see you on the next day.